Yes. It was good as always. We all overeat. We have a lot going on today. So outside of our amazing panel, we've got some new introductions. There are also a lot of new people in this room. So again, I always ask you guys, if you see somebody that you don't know, please turn around and introduce yourself. We've got several recruits in here today and just some new agents with our market center. So please say hello. Again, on the tables, you'll see our hashtag that qualify instead of the on-time drawing. We're doing the hashtag this time to go in through the end of the year and for our panel today for thriving in a shifting market. And Demetria. Bucket fills. Who would like to share a bucket fill? Go for it, Ken.
Very happy to pay a $10,000 referral to one of our agents for a $1 million commercial lease we got executed.
Awesome.
Hello. That's amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome. Anybody else want to share a bucket fill? Anything great going on that we haven't seen in a couple of weeks? Seen anybody? Oh, come on, y'all. Listings, closings. I know we've had some. Wow. Okay. I'm going to share one thing, and he's in the room, so I won't say names. We have had a death in our KWNG family. Someone's mother has passed away, so you guys could just say a prayer to yourselves. I don't know if he wants me to share, but just is he in here? He just left. Is it there if I share it? David Bland's mother passed away unexpectedly. And then on top of that, his mother-in-law literally fell through the sheetrock ceiling yesterday and ended up in the hospital. So just if you guys see him, he needs some love and a hug, and he's just got a lot going on. He's leaving back today to go back to Kansas City for his mom's funeral tomorrow. So he's just had a lot. So if you see him, just say a little prayer for him. Tiffany McWhorter. Kelly Sorhan, come on up.
All those people. Good morning, Tiffany with the Kelly and Sorhan. Just wanted to talk to you guys about holiday scheduling. I've gotten a lot of questions on when we're open, when we're closed after last week. We are only closed on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. They're both on Mondays this year, which will make for a nice long weekend, which is great. But the last Friday of the year is, the last day of the year is on a Friday. So that always tends to be like a little bit nutty when you're thinking about scheduling. And then the only other thing I'd just like to remind you is over the breaks where the kids are home is like prime time for vacations, not just for us, but for my staff, for Linder's staff. So I see Sandy. So just be mindful of that. A lot of us are working on skeleton crews, around the holidays. So if you see emails coming from other people or other people stepping in to help, just, know that we're just trying to get let everyone have vacations and also get all the closings done, which is kind of hard to do. But if y'all have any issues with scheduling, let me know. But it should be, it should be pretty good with the way that the holidays fall this year. Thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you. Guarantee Mortgage. Obviously, we have an announcement. You see a new face on our screen. So if that whole crew wants to come on up, Sandy has an introduction to make.
Morning.
I know, right? Family gathering up here.
I'm Sandy Tate. Most of you know me, but some of you probably don't. I'm the president of Guarantee. And this is your little flock. And you've got, most of you probably know Christy here.
You know Christy?
Christy works for us and she is their assistant. And she's wonderful. She does all the hard work.
She does.
They take all the glory, but she does a great job. And this is our newest loan officer that's going to be calling y'all and working with y'all. It's Nikki Power. And I thought, Nikki, just for like 30 seconds, tell us about yourself.
Well, my name's Nikki, like she said. I've been in financing for about 15 years. I started in auto financing first. And then I've been with Sandy for about 7 years. And yeah, call me if you know.
I will tell you something about her. She came to us as an assistant to a top producer. And she came to me and she said, I want to be a loan officer. And I went, Nikki, you're gonna just starve to death. And she said, no, I want to do it.
She said, do you have at least 6 months worth of savings? Because you're not going to make any money.
So, she did, and the first 3 months were tough. But then her second year, she did 32 million. So she's a wonderful loan officer, just like Joy and Tim. Both one. So y'all have got the cream of the crop. So please use them. And I know Michelle
got that in the
has
room, yeah.
For many, many years. And one funny story, you know, of course, everything is last minute. And I'm like trying to get a hold of Nikki. I'm like, where is she? Oh, driver husband's number. I do. So I called her husband and they were out on the lake. And I said, I need this right now. She's like, we'll go right now. And they left the lake and she like, no. So.
Oh, no. I mean, when she started.
Michelle's on the phone for you.
But really, when she first started, Alan told me, you know, she almost slept with her phone. You know, she took her phone in the bathroom.
Had him build a ledge in the shower.
A shower to put the phone, because that's what you have to do when you're starting from ground zero. And she's really proved to be a really hard worker, like all the other two. So thank you very much for everything you do for us, and we love being here.
Hold on.
Quick shout out to Joy. I went under contract November 13th, and we are closing tomorrow.
I know.
Well, and really quick, I just want to add that we are thrilled to have Nikki since the time of her yesterday. And so I just, I love that she is worked her way up, like, you know, pulled up her belts, you know, belt straps, and has done the grit and the grind and done all of that. And it's just a wealth of information. And we're just happy to have you. So welcome to the family. Yes. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, guys. All of our amazing vendor partners, please stand up and say good morning. We're going to do the wave.
Ryan, Pro Inspection Company.
Good morning, Stephanie from Organized Check.
Good morning, Josh with New Tech Molten Water.
Awesome.
Morning, Rob Johnny, Shifting Home Inspections.
Gilstrap, Exterminator.
Awesome. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. Tech teaser. So we're going to do tech teasers. Dimitri, ready?
Yeah. All right. So I know that everybody is getting ready and gearing up for 2024 and has done business planning. So as you are doing business planning, I know that you probably have already done this, but are in command, cleaning up your command. If you find that you have duplicate contacts, there is now a merge field where you can merge two contacts into one and clean up your database. So you want to know why, how, and you know, all the steps, just schedule with me. So I look forward to working with you guys.
Awesome. Thank you. Mortgage training is today at 12:30. Mastermind for Thursday has been postponed. December 4th is Broker Boys team meeting on the 5th. It's going to be a little bit of a surprise. I might share some details closer, but it'll be good. December tech training, mortgage training, and the calendars just went out as well. So make sure you guys get an updated calendar. Career Day is Saturday the 9th. Everybody, please share, invite somebody that you know, love, and needs to get into our business and join our family. Call in to win. The deadline was actually, it got moved and it was yesterday. So we're gonna do it through the end of today. So if you have not signed up to do the call in to win on Friday, we're providing breakfast and lunch. It's 9 to 4, where you do a reverse bowl 100, where you have all your clients call in, go in a raffle. It's $1,000 giveaway. And so we'll do the drawing live at 4:30. So you guys can then, we'll either go live on Facebook and then record it, and you can share that if your client is one that wins. We will share that video so you guys can share that with your client. Vendor Appreciation, December 5th, 9 o'clock here at the Market Center. Holiday Gala, Christmas lunch, gift exchange. That is going to be at the church. Where's it going to be? At the church, December 12th. Family reunion. Have y'all seen the speakers, right? The Robbins family, not related, but the Robbins family. KWNG Sunshine Fund. Does anybody in this room not know what this is? It's okay if you don't. You're so cute. You're so cute. So the Sunshine Fund, you know, we have KW Cares. The Sunshine Fund is to help agents in this market center. So when we have agents that are going through a tough time, have something going on, death in the family, gifts, cards, flowers, all the things, that fund we use in leadership to help that family, whether it's providing some meals, whether it's helping pay for something that, medical situation. So that's on your options in Command when you do your closings, if you want to do additional deductions. And I know a lot of people, we haven't seen it in a while with some of the closings coming in. So I just want to make sure, because there's a lot of stuff out there with KW Cares, and we had the fires earlier this year, and there's a lot of stuff that you get pulled to. But just know that the Sunshine Fund is physically for people in this market center only. So that just goes to us. I just want to make sure you guys were aware of that. Congratulations to our new 2024 ALC. If you're in the room, will you stand up? I know a few of you are. So thankful for 2023 ALC, and we have a few that are joining us again this year, David and Thea and Amy. Amy's on her way here. She had a closing. And some new faces. And so we're just super excited at what this team can bring. Obviously, these are high-level agents in this market center with a wealth of information in different areas of what they have mastered. So we're just excited to see what that brings to the table this coming year for the market center. Surviving and thriving in a shifting market panel. Come on up, people. Woo. You need a high chair?
Yeah.
So great.
Tall.
Oh, there's
Bob. Yeah.
No, Bob's not here.
The troublemaker.
You turn it, is everybody hot? Is it getting hot in here?
Feels so good in here.
Oh.
Sorry, I just
Yeah.
put it down. I'm like. I'm not sure it's too.
Well, good morning. Thanks for being here. If you guys will just really quick go across and introduce yourselves. We'll start with Ann on that end.
That's all you want me to say?
Yep, just introduce yourself. I think a lot of people are in here.
Teresa Smith,
Julie Cunningham.
Bob Hartwell.
Sarah Maslowski.
Miss Last. Thanks for being here. I did not, Demetria did. She sent you guys some just information on questions. I have one that I'm going to throw in, but it's easy, so don't freak out. I'm actually going to start with number 5. The question that we had sent to them was, how was your mindset impacted during the last shift, and what changes did you make to stay motivating during the shift? Jerry, you want to go first?
Well, I don't know that I've been through a shift before. So, I think the one, right. Well, yes, I mean, we're going through one right now. And, I think that the biggest thing is just surround yourself with people who have a positive mindset and ignore a lot of the talk and chatter of what's going on online. There's, I'm sure a lot of you are also in Facebook groups like I am, lab coat agents and stuff like that. And I just feel like every time I log on to Facebook, you're just constantly bombarded with a lot of agents talking about how the market is in a free-for-all and, doomsday out there. Yeah, I just glanced at my phone before coming up here, and one agent was talking about going to take a 9-to-5 job because he's not making any money this year. And so you can find yourself just feeding into a lot of that talk and reading a lot of that stuff. And it's really not helpful for you at all. And so I think a lot of it right now is just ignoring a lot of that talk and chatter and make sure that you're filling your cup and filling your mind with a lot of positive things, because you can only control what you can control. So I think that's important.
And are you making money this year?
I am.
You are. Let's be clear. There's business out there. Yeah, she is. 100%.
I would just ditto what she said. I mean, it's, fill your mind with positive stuff and avoid all of the negativity. And I mean, don't watch the news. The news loves to give you sensational headlines and the doomsday stuff. Get away from that. I'm very fortunate that I'm in a group. Ian is part of that group. David's part of that group. Michelle, Marcy. There's a group of us that get together and we kind of lift each other up. Number one, that would be a good thing for anyone to do. And the other thing is that between Marcy and Ann, they lead us into these exercises, and the thing we've been doing the most is writing gratitudes. I mean, just keep your mind filled with positive, happy thoughts. That's not going to solve all your problems. You got to be active also, but the negative energy literally does you no good at all. I learned this from my amazing wife. who writes in her gratitude journal almost every day. And she's one of the happiest people I've ever met in my life. Am I right?
And for those that are new in the room, Joy James, Guaranty Mortgage,
Yes.
is Bob Hartwell's wife.
Yes.
Because everyone's like, what is happening right now?
It's like, I was pointing back there and I'll go up there.
Well, we're all.
Right, here they point that,
We're
right?
all close.
Yeah,
Right, we're all close, yeah.
yeah, it's a close.
I'll just add one thing. I think the market has been kind of volatile for the past couple of years. So there's been a lot of talk of shifting markets for years now. And I think one of the things that I've leaned into is hearing a lot of these agents say that the last time they went through a shift, it was their best years ever. And so I'm like, oh, well, if they can have their best year ever in a shifting market, so can I. And that's given me inspiration.
And that's what you've done. Yeah. Miss Julie?
Okay, so just like these two, for me, it's mindset. I did high school ministry with teenage girls for a long time, and we started this motto: you wake up in the day and your day is either going to be happy or it's going to be crappy. So I wake up, yes, you have a choice. So my first thing is positive. And I think that I've been through a lot of shifts, and everything is different, and staying ahead of the shift for me too was balance. If you just pour everything into your work or your fun or anything, you burn out on it. So don't let yourself burn out. Keep a balance of fun, play, and life, and just keep that flowing. And I think that was a big thing for me. And as they were saying, 2020 was a really tough year for me. I lost my brother, my hero. But I said, you know what? I cannot I have to pay my bills. I have to have a positive mindset. So I turned, my crappy into happy and my morning into dancing. And 2020 was my best year ever in my 23 years of real estate. So it's amazing.
Great job.
So back in the other shift, which maybe y'all weren't in the business back then, but it was really, except for Jill and Bob. And you? Maybe, what shift?
Oh, God.
Oh, foreclosure, yes. I was there. I wiped that right out of my head. Yes, I was there.
That's like PTSD.
It really was. I mean, it didn't slow down, it stopped. And that was in October of 2007. And it was scary. Thank goodness I had started writing letters to Countrywide back in 2003, trying to save one of my clients from foreclosure. And even though I wasn't able to save them from foreclosure, Countrywide started sending me what's called assignments. So, and ended up getting in with Bank of America and all of their subsidiaries and SunTrust. And yes, as Dara mentioned, it was, those are some really great years. I swear I aged 10 years in those 5 years of foreclosures, knocking on people's door, telling them that they've been foreclosed on. And they were right in the middle of a loan modification. It was really bad. Some people really got a bad rap for sure. So anyway, we won't see that happening again. I know that they keep talking about more foreclosures and things like that, but I'm really not seeing it. So as far as this shift, it's totally different than last shift. And our little team is keeping our nose to the grindstone and not looking at all bad things that are going on, because there's really not that much bad stuff going on. As long as you work and you keep being diligent in what your actions are, then we'll get through this.
Teresa was the queen of short sales. I did some really good
No
deals.
foreclosures, not short sales.
But I did a couple short sales with you. So you did.
Yes, she didn't want to do them. That's why you got it, baby.
I think I turned around a lot for you now.
I showed my first foreclosure this past weekend.
Did you really?
Yeah, in Stonewater Creek.
Oh my.
Yeah, so it's there.
Well, I mean, we're gonna see more foreclosures, but that's because we've seen none for years. So
Back
one
to
is
normal.
more.
Yeah.
One is more, yeah.
And how about you?
There's nothing.
Yes, I did go through that shift and the COVID shift and now this shift. So what I did learn, and I probably shared that when we went through the COVID shift, I lived in denial. I was like, this is a bunch of crap. This is not real. It's not going to exist or whatever.
and I've probably shared the story, but, so I was kind of down I'm like, why is like nobody doing anything? Like, why is nobody wanting to buy and sell property? So I kind of went into like a state of depression. It was a really hard time. And I called Jason Bonds and I'm like, what's happening? The guy of charts and graphs, tell me what's going to happen. And he goes, this is something that's going to be around for a while. You need to deal with it. Have a funeral for it, put it to bed, grieve, do what you need to do, but then get back to it. So what I learned from that is, first of all, don't wait. Don't wait to find the answers to what's going to happen. Get on it now, get your actions in place. Don't hang around. Don't make excuses for it. Don't make excuses for the interest rates. Don't make excuses for low inventory. Oh, no buyers are out there. They're out there, believe me. So those are the two things I would share as you prepare going into a shift, is to not wait, live with it. It's happening, and don't make excuses for it. The other thing that I learned, and I had the privilege of getting into coaching 2 years ago, so helping other agents, which made me do a deep dive into everything positive, like what you said, Sarah. I have to be positive to help others be positive. I had to learn how to get out of the shift to teach others. So be an agent of learning. Learn all you can. Have the mindset, like Julie said, to be the one that's going to rise above the rest, so that you're not down there with the other people making excuses and waiting for it to move on. Because we're in it for a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Sarah, I'll start with you on this one. How did you set SMART goals to accommodate this current shifting market?
So I don't think I've changed any of my goals based on the market. I think it's just been based on, what I want to produce, and then maybe the activities that you have to do to get to reaching your goals may have to change a little bit, but my goals have not changed.
Awesome.
We're going to talk a lot about fundamentals here. There's not going to be any, sorry, this is a spoiler, like ain't going to be a whole lot of new stuff. It's really about fundamentals. Not me. I'm too old. We've been in a ridiculous seller's market since 2018. In 2020, 21, and 22 were just absurdly unsustainable. So not that I don't have a crystal ball, but I've been through this a few times, and I knew something was coming. And so my goals were set to shift my business to more buyers and builders. Now, I still do my PCSOI. That's fundamental. That should never change in any market. That's where your bread and butter is. But if you're looking for the long bomb on every pass, you're going to be unsuccessful. Do the little things every day that help you maintain your business, and then work on those businesses like the builders, and in my case, more buyers, because I'm more of a listing agent. And we should talk about buyers here in a few minutes, but because that's where the business is going to go. I don't think it's going to be hugely different than it is, but buyers are going to have more options right now. So you have to be really smart about your scripts around interest rates, and for your sellers around how much equity they built over the last few years, because sellers often say, I don't want to sell because I don't want to pay this high interest rate. What they forget is that over the last 3 years, they've gained 50% plus in equity in the homes that they're in. So they have a lot more buying power, and the interest rates will affect them less. You've got to be smart about those scripts. So for me, it was seeing it coming and shifting a little bit more toward sustainable business like builders. And fortunately, I was able to pick one up.
Great job. Yeah. Maybe persistent.
Oh my goodness. So SMART goals, anything like SMART plans, SMART goals. I am old school because I've been in the business for so long, and y'all new ones that have this command, have command and all that. We've seen so many different platforms in my KW years that I am in Outlook. My goals, my SMART goals are in Outlook, and I know y'all are going, who, what?
You're so old.
I know, but I think that when something works for me, I have a hard time changing. So my SMART goals are just doing the basics that I've known for so long that have worked for me, instead of me trying to learn something else that's frustrating me. I'm not telling y'all not to, because I learn a lot, but stick with things that are working for me. That has been my SMART goals, is to bounce around and stay focused on my lane that I'm in and what I'm doing.
Whatever system's working for you.
So
That's it right
that's
there.
what's been for me, what's working for me.
Do something.
Yeah.
Don't sit and complain and worry and be paralyzed by your analysis. You know, people get afraid of things, so they don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I have this book in my hand is because does anyone not know what the MREA book, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book is? Anybody? Sure,
Well,
come
no one's
on.
gonna
now.
raise their hand now.
Right.
I'm not,
I'm the person who doesn't know what that is.
Right.
I'm not finding fault with anybody. I'm just saying, if you don't know what it is, find out what it is and turn to page 138 and do one of those things,
Mm-hmm.
because it's all about lead generation. It's all about fundamentals.
Basics, fundamentals.
Basics.
Relationship.
Stay in your lane, get in the lane that you're going to do something with, and then do it.
Yeah. Just don't bounce around, just pull forward.
Yeah. Teresa, how about you?
Well, SMART goals. I was surprised. Thank you, Teresa, for having that on me. Did you just how did you set your goals for this year in a shift?
Were you asking about SMART goals in
Like
command?
Sustainable, measurable.
Probably the ones
Yeah.
in command, yeah.
Accountable.
We're
Oh, I thought you
scrubbing,
just meant goals.
we're scrubbing our, we're scrubbing.
We know you're
our
smart.
data. We're working on database again. We're scrubbing it. We're getting it down to the real people that would be more like advocates and not just people that we don't know. So we're working on that really, really hard so that we can continue moving forward with the plans that we already have in place.
Awesome. I totally got the question wrong. So I thought it was, how did you set your goal for this year, knowing you're going into a shifting market? That's what I thought.
That was smart. That's very smart.
So I set I'll answer it the way I thought it was. I set my goal based on last year, which I had a good year last year. So I'm like, in a shifting market, I'm going to keep my goal the same and go with that. And fortunately, I've been able to surpass that this year. So, but to answer the question, and I thought it was, I set my goals to what it was last year. I didn't go anything above and beyond, knowing we were going into a shifting market.
Jennifer, you had a question.
Yeah, for Julie and Teresa, y'all talked about the things that work for you that you're going to continue doing. And can y'all share a couple of things that you love to do that you have found that work for you year after year after year?
It's basically relationships.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
I knew you were gonna say that, wasn't it?
We're in the relationship business.
Yes.
FYI.
You know, we're really focusing a lot on social media. Michelle and Mackenzie are just amazing at that. And let's see. Can I go to number 4? What that goes into unique marketing? Okay. So we implemented a lot more video content, highlighting local businesses, events, listings that weren't just ours. We increased our social media ad spend. This led to more sustaining. See, this is Mackenzie's answer. Rather than growing to keep up our brand awareness. So it's all about brand awareness for us. And people say we see your stuff everywhere. And so that's what it's all about. So when they think about the business that we're in, they think about us.
Love it.
Mine also is relationships. A lot of my marketing dollars goes to, I call them pop buys. I spend a lot of time going around and seeing people and visiting people, and I call it Ford sandwich. Like on their Facebook, if I see somebody had a baby or somebody's sick, like recently I saw a client that their daughter got married, and I was uninvited to the wedding. I didn't really expect to be, but I popped by there and dropped off a gift, and they about fell out of their chair. And it's little stuff like that. I try to do little stuff that's different. And a lot of it is seeing people in person.
And I'll add to that it's all about how you connect with people, whether it's hosting events, whether it's phone calls, whether it's hot buys, all the things, find what works for you and your relationship building with people. And that's where you get the success.
I think
Oh, go ahead.
sorry, I want to add to this. If you're a newer agent, I'm just thinking about this a little bit from my perspective too. You know, y'all have been in the business for a long time, so you've got like really great databases, and you might be thinking like, oh, well, I do that to my current database already, and I still don't have enough business. And the reason that you don't have enough business is because you don't have enough people in your database yet to get the business out of it. So you have to be trying to find a different lead source that you can add people to that database of people that you know or that are becoming to know you. So I would just strongly encourage you to lean into that, but then also keep adding and adding and adding until you eventually grow that database to enough where you can get that business from it. But in the beginning, it's going to be incredibly hard to get the business from that if you're not looking to ways to grow that database.
I'll talk to a wall, so I can just talk to anybody, and in about 3 minutes, they know I'm in real estate, whether I mean to tell them or not.
Michelle did an amazing thing. I was really impressed that she came up with this. And so, you know, we all have a lot of people set up on automatic notification and things like that in FMLS. So she went through all of her automatic notifications and added them to her database. People that
forewarned, it was really easy because you had
She says
you have their name, you typically have their phone number, and so I just got their addresses from forewarned.
I just wanted to add something, you know, the area of expertise, if you identify an area of expertise where you can pursue, just a related story, I was talking to a client about a warehouse transaction, and he made a comment about a lake property he has, and he said, well, this one agent, Teresa Smith, said this, and is that right? I said, if Teresa said it, it's right. If it's about lake property, but that's where you identify yourself in that specialty. And sometimes people coming up, don't resist identifying an area of specialty that you may have that you identify with, and don't hesitate to put a little more emphasis on it, especially based on your previous work history and life history.
This is not your question, but that was a big thing for me. Is after I lost my brother, he had no will, he owned a house, he had a tenant in sufferance, I learned, and I learned, okay, I have to come from contribution and help people. And I learned so much because I'm the youngest of 6 children. My family made me the administrator of his estate. I had to learn everything. So I learned that I have a passion for senior real estate and for probate. So I have totally shifted my business and my life into senior real estate and working with probate. So I say that find your niche. What's your passion? And go that way.
But not only did you find your path, but you got certified in it, right?
I got certified in it.
2 classes in it, like you just get in and just master it, like find whatever your path is and master it. So that's the key.
Master it, learn everything.
Yep, 100%.
Well, I'm gonna just hit on one thing, just so we're kind of wrap this up. When I said PCSOI, that's past client sphere of influence, for those that didn't know that. Everyone up here has talked about that. And Sarah makes a really good point that for those who are new, their PCSOI database may not be that big. So there are ways to build that. Sarah has done a superlative job with it on YouTube. Keith did an open house for me. And how many did you get off of one Facebook ad? Like 8 or 9 people? I mean, it's little things like that. Don't, like I said, don't go for the long bomb on every pass. Do the fundamental things that will build database, which is how you build relationships, which is how you build a business.
The long bomb, let Keith do your open houses because I had he did an open house for me and the people came in, they bought the house. That's only happened to me 2 times in 23 years. Thank you.
I'm going to go back to Sarah because her love language is buyers. You're heavy on the buyer side. What are conversations you're having in today's market with buyers? Because I talked about how there's not anything out there to buy. You know, where am I going to go? How do I sell what I've got? Because I don't want to put it up for sale because there's nothing out there to purchase. What do those conversations look like for you?
I think at the end of the day, it's getting down to and really understanding the motivation of a buyer and trying to discern whether or not they're serious or not. And, we can spend a lot of time working with someone who's not that serious or motivated. And you have to really understand the value of your time and your energy and your efforts and what you're putting into. Not to say that you're going to ignore that buyer, but you know, if someone's not a serious buyer, then I have better use of my time right now to spend with other people. Also conversations that I'm having with my buyers right now is that there's serious opportunities right now in new construction. You know, I just got a buyer under contract with $20,000 in seller paid closing costs and a 5.99% interest rate. You know, they just had to come up with their down payment, and that's an incredible deal right now. So there are opportunities out there in the market, and there's also a great opportunity that if a buyer wants to be in a particular neighborhood or area and there's not that inventory out there, that's an opportunity for you to go work circle prospecting and find them that house, go door knock, send letters, call. You know, there's opportunities out there. You just have to be willing to see everything from different perspectives and make it work.
Awesome. Awesome. And how about you?
Well, Gary Keller, tells us, or says right now, that we are no longer salespeople, but we're teachers of the market, that we have to be teaching and educating and sharing with our clients. This is not buyer, this is both buyer, because I'm a rule follower.
You got it.
I follow the question.
Yeah, we have to be checking off the box.
Seriously, I know. You asked the question, I'm like, which one is that? That's number 5. That we have to be educators and teachers of what's going on out there. So I am not really telling them anything. I'm more educating them on what is happening. And the other thing that is the big hot button is about questions, asking the questions, just ask so many questions, deep dive into one question. Well, why do you like that house? Oh, well, I really love the backyard. Why do you want that backyard? Well, my kids. Oh, were your kids, do they play outside? Do they play sports? What sports do they play? It's just constantly diving deep to find out really what their motivation is, like Sarah said, and then taking that information that you've learned from them and then educating them and sharing with them and guiding them the right way versus telling them what's happening out there, if that makes sense. So those are the types of conversations I'm having.
It's all about them.
Okay.
It's all about them, not about us.
Well, that's what I was talking about. You've got to be knowledgeable about what's going on in the market. If you are new, find someone who's been around a little while and ask some questions. There's no better place. This is my opinion. There's no better place to be than Keller Williams in terms of starting a business in real estate because of the environment here, culture here, more so even in this place than most, but in every Keller Williams, it's a sharing opportunity. People will help you. You just kind of ask the questions. Don't be afraid to ask. We all started at some point. Mine was a little longer ago than most, but I spent more money the first year than I made because I was trying to get my business off the ground and I had no clue what was going on until I found a couple of mentors and they helped me out and my world changed almost overnight. So don't be afraid to ask the questions. And I think what Ann said is exactly right. And Teresa said it. It's an educational process right now because people are scared to death because of what they hear on the news. And what they hear on the news is about a quarter true. Sarah said there's opportunities everywhere right now. We just have to be the leaders in our relationship with buyers and sellers to get them to that point where they can buy and sell and help them make sense of what's going on there right now. Again, this book, and there's another one called Shift, and Shift is a simple read. It's not about the market. You all know this one. It's not about the market. It's about what you do in the market. So I think it's really just an educational process.
So for me, it's just, my conversations are just heart-to-heart conversations. And when I tell them, hey, when I bought my first house, this is for real. When I bought my first house in 1982, interest rates were 17.5. I had a negative amortization. I didn't even know what that was. And I signed up for it. So it's really true that, what is it? Date the rate and marry the house. And if they find the house, don't let the house get away from them. Like Ann was saying, when they tell you all the things that they want in the house, and I write them all down, I go, y'all, This house has every single thing you wanted. Just go ahead and go with it now, and it's going to get better, right, Joy? And we're going to we're going to get you refinanced. So I just don't be afraid of this. If you need a house, you have a house. We got to do it.
I have, do any of y'all experience the younger set saying that renting is what they want to do? They don't want to buy. Anybody else experience that?
Yeah.
Okay, I see heads nodding.
We have a lot of stuff on that.
One of my mentors in real estate asked one of the best questions that I've ever heard in real estate. And I've asked it 1,000 times since then, and it's always been a good question. And that is, if I could find a house or a property for you that would help you with your financial future, would you be interested? That's what building equity in real estate is all about. It is about a financial future. So when, and I'm kind of lumping this into a category. It's not all youth. It's some youth feel like they don't have a shot at this, so renting is okay. Renting is it's a kind of a dead end situation. They're not going to build any equity. They're building someone else's equity. Learn to help people who are coming up, because there are opportunities. One is new homes, like Sarah said. That's become a huge opportunity right now. The other one is they don't necessarily have to buy the castle the first time. They can buy a townhome or a condo. They're still going to build equity. So learn how to work with, all of your clients, their clients' children. I've done 5 generations of one family over time. And that's exciting, So it's about learning how to lead them into it.
Okay, Sarah, I got a question. What would you say is your unique ability that has gifted you the success that you have today? Because everybody has their own unique, what they bring to the table. What would you say yours is and what you've mastered and done well?
So for me, it's been video, but I think the biggest lesson that I've taken away from that is I wish I would have known this or internalized this a little bit earlier in my real estate career. And we hear it all the time. So I heard it all the time too, but it just finally one day clicked with me. But you have to find like one thing that you're going to make your one thing. So find your niche, find your lead generation pillar that you're going to master, and don't give up on yourself. So I too often tried way too many things in the beginning, and I would try it for a couple of weeks, and then I'm like, oh, this doesn't work. And then I'd move on to something else, or I'd sit in another class and hear another good idea. But it wasn't until I made that self-commitment and had that hard conversation with myself of like, this is the one time you're not going to give up on something. And it drastically, 10x my business whenever I did that. And so I don't think for me, it was necessarily like video was a success. I think it would have been anything I would have applied that same principle to. And so I would just strongly encourage everyone to find something that, you can commit to for the next 90 days and really just give it your all and give yourself that opportunity to see what impact it has on your business.
Don't chase all the shiny objects.
Yeah, or find one shiny object and make it your one thing.
Yeah, don't chase them all, because I promise you there's going to be thousands of them coming at you.
What about you?
And it only takes one to pay for the whole thing. That's always the line. If you just get one of these, it'll pay for the whole year. And that's probably what you can get one. You really got to hone in on what your skills are. I think mine, if you're talking about a unique ability, I would say probably if I just off the cuff, that's not what your question is, by the way.
It's not on here.
It's not on
right now.
You're totally messing her up.
I know,
She's like
it's not on
freaking out down there. She's writing notes. I'd say that an ability that I have is an ability to connect with people. I do have an ability to connect with people. Fortunately, through that, I've had a lot of experience in multiple facets of residential real estate. I was the broker of a big building company for 10 years, and I was on site for a long time. So I really understand new construction, and I'm able to kind of translate that for buyers in the marketplace when they go into a house and they want to know about the house. And, that's what also has helped me builder business. You know, I've got 3 builders that I do business with on a regular basis. And so the connection, I think, is critical. I'm blessed with that. I can't say that I went to school and learned that. It's just something I've been able to do. And I think that helps. And especially in this field, like we've all talked about relationships and building relationships, and just knowing that my clients know that I'm in it for them.
Mm-hmm. And before I move on to Julie, I just want to say that now that I've been here for a year and I know each of you, the first thing I think about when I think about there is a social media platform, and that she has mastered that. And when I think about you, you do a land plat class, you know, like you did last year, and it was a huge success. And so I know that is you have mastered that. You are the expert. And I can say that for each of you, whatever your lane is. And so each of you that are new in this have that, figure out what your lane is and just know it inside, outside, up, down, all the things, because that's how you grow your business. So anyway, sorry, I just wanted
Like, would you suggest for new agents for them to try something for 90 days, 60 days? Like, how long should they try something to try to find their thing, their one thing?
I'm glad you asked that question, because this is something that I tell people in the class, and this probably, you can close your ears because people in leadership don't like saying this kind of stuff. There is so much that comes at you at Keller Williams. You can be overwhelmed really fast. When I came to Keller Williams, I'd been in the business 20 plus years, 23 or 4 years. And I was a broker. I hadn't been in daily practice for a long time. And I came into this office, and in 6 months, I was just like, holy smokes. Just way too much information.
new level of drinking from the fire hose.
Yes, it was, and I knew the business. It wasn't like I didn't know real estate. I just had not been in real estate practice, in the trenches for 10 years. So coming into this, I was completely overwhelmed. And then you start learning about how to focus on one thing. And then I read the one thing and was like, oh, okay, that's what I need to do. So I got into my PCSOI big time. But when you look at these books, yes, I think you need to try something. Look at the book, find a list of different lead generation techniques or opportunities, read them, and when you go door knocking, nope, not doing that, take it off the list. Find the things that you will do and go after those. Now, if you find 10, don't go after 10. Go after the one that appeals to you the most and do the things that you will do, because you can say, I have all the intentions in the world of door knocking my neighborhood. And I even did that one time when I first got here, and I realized real fast, I'm not a door knocker. But then Joanna Kraus, when she first came here, that's what she did. That's how she built a lot of her business. And there are several people that are very successful at it, but I would say at least 90 days, if not 6 months.
I'm gonna say that it may not be a time thing. It may be how consistent you are.
Absolutely.
Your passion, how you feel about it.
You could do something every day and get results in 30 days, or you could farm once a month and it'll take 8 months. It just depends on what your budget is, what your thing is, what your passion is, what your content is. So I don't know if there's a specific time period on anything, except being consistent.
Right.
That's probably true. Yeah, I'd say that it just depends. Because farming is going to take you a lot longer.
Yeah, that's 8 months at least.
Yeah.
So Julie, I know what your unique ability is relationships and connecting on an emotional level. If I had to guess, when I think of you, that's what I think about,
Just coming from contribution, and y'all have good people in your mind, in your database, your vendors, your inspectors, your people like that, because I know this happened to everybody during COVID. Some people come and go, I hate to tell you this, but we have these friends that want to buy our house. We don't really need a realtor, but we need a painter and we need this, we need that. And so you're like, okay, so people call me, they know I'm the person to call to connect them with anybody. So that's a really good thing for me. And I work strictly by referrals, and these people tell somebody else, hey, Julie's got this great roofer, this great painter or whatever. So that's what I'm known for. It's just connecting people.
You're a connector.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, coming from contribution.
Yeah. Teresa, how about you?
What was the question?
What's your unique ability? What would you say is your unique ability to your success?
We're
She's a river girl. Chattahoochee River.
Have a good vote.
Lake. That's what everybody
You've
thinks
mastered
about
Lake
when
Lanier, right? You've
Absolutely.
mastered lake properties.
We have done that. Yes, that's where we started and that's where we focus a lot of our business, but we just, we're trying to do different streams of, social media. We're just trying to get the word out there, whether it be in print, which we only do one print publication.
Got the magazine and the newspaper.
That's right. We do the Southeast Lake Lanier magazine. We do Lakeside News. We started something really fun in September. We were invited to join American Dream TV.
Yes, you
were.
And so we've had so much fun doing it together. And, but we did, you know, the Georgia Mountains, Alpharetta, things around Lake Lanier. So if people want to move here, then they can see all these other fun things there are to do. We just did Oktoberfest in Helen, and there's a great new castle in Helen called the Uhu Bird Castle. So we did that for our last one. We do for our first one, Notho Bruca, and a really pretty house that we're going to be putting on the market after the first of the year. So it's about selling a lifestyle, not about selling ourselves or real estate.
So what's your debut?
Oh, we've got
Have
another.
you been on TV already?
Yeah.
Get out of town. I missed it. I'll have to stream you guys.
The next one is coming soon.
It's on YouTube.
That's on
You can go to our
YouTube. Okay.
The next one's coming up pretty soon.
And how about you?
I'll just say one funny story. I know we're gonna get close on time, is that I sold a house in Swanee and they were like, we want the best person in Swanee, so we're gonna pick you. I'm like, okay, well, that's great. Ask questions. Where are you moving? We're moving to the lake. Well, I can help you with that. Nope. We want the best of the best of the lake. So Michelle was on the other side of that. There goes the lake listing, and then I got the Swanee listing. So you have done your jobs. Great.
So if people ask who's the best of the best, you want them to say your name.
And I said,
That's
if I was moving to the lake and didn't know, I would pick Teresa and her team too. I said that. So anyway, I did. I'm gonna say more on what I do consistently and what I think I do a very good job at in my business to be able to sit up here with these amazing agents. I have a very, very strict rule with my calendar. The people that I help coach, they are gonna be like, stop talking about time blocking, stop talking about time blocking. But when I have it on there, that's what I do nonstop. So you can see all the little time blocks I have. If it's follow-up, it's follow-up. The second that 30-minute window stops, I move on to the next thing. If I don't finish it, it moves to the bottom.
That is so
What are
smart.
they, and she clears all of her
All my emails.
notifications in her emails.
Are
Like,
all
do not
clear
look at
every
my
day.
phone, Nan.
So I think that is something that I have that has made me sit up here and be where I am today, is that you have to rely on that calendar, and you have to be very strict with yourself, and don't lie to yourself and don't lie to your family about that you're going to be doing lead generation from 9 to 9:30 or whatever it is, and you're not doing it. You're shopping on Cyber Monday. You don't do it because you're lying to yourself. So anyway, I think that is a unique ability, because that's a struggle for people, is to be a master.
That's a
Very disciplined.
That's a huge struggle for me.
So
Yeah.
I feel like I do a very good job at that, and that keeps me completely on task. And at 3 o'clock or whatever, I'm done. I'm done for the day, unless I've added a listing appointment or something at the end of the day. And then I can lay my head down at night and say, I did my job to 110%. I've squeezed every little bit of juice out of the lemon. I'm done, because I've set my time blocks the way they are.
You're good at that.
Okay, we're gonna do one more and I'll stick to it's number 4 and we're gonna abbreviate it. So what is your one unique marketing technique that you implement to sustain your success during a shifting market?
Well, I am not Sarah. I have implemented video, and it's so silly. Please do not look me up on Facebook or Instagram, because I have to have somebody call me or text me each morning and say, I need you to do a video on this. Okay. I need you to do the $1,000 giveaway video. It's very hard for me. I'm actually going to be putting out a video probably today of when I first started doing videos. So watch it to the end if you do look it up, because it's really funny. It's been a struggle and a challenge for me to get out there and be in front of a camera like that.
And it's stupid, it's dumb, you don't know what I want, you don't even want to know what I'm doing for the day, but people watch it. So that is something, it's not unique, it's unique to me that I've had to include into my marketing.
Love it. Great job. Teresa?
We don't do just one thing. We try to do multiple streams. And we do have a marketing company. We meet with them once a month. Our Google AdWords, we see what's performing there. And Google AdWords has worked very well for us. Again, we've done some spotlight on local businesses to make things fun and interesting. Again, just brand awareness. And let's see, what else have we done? Social media. Michelle and Mackenzie are just fabulous at our social media. I don't touch it, but those girls are just, they're always putting stuff out there. Well, they're talented at that. I'm not. So.
Get leverage of people that know how to do it better than you. So you don't have to worry about it and they can run with it.
And they do. Yeah, Mackenzie is just, man, she's the best.
Julie?
Gosh, I'm trying to think. I had so many people, so many of my sellers move out of town, out of state. So I'm thinking, okay, they don't live in this neighborhood anymore. So how am I going to get them to keep me top of mind and things like that? So I sent a lot of Thanksgiving cakes. So I think I'm trying to make sure I keep my far away people to not forget about me. So I've been really focused on that.
That's really think outside your zip code.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. During COVID, it's like things were selling in 5 minutes instead of 5 days or whatever. So I took listings in Lithonia and Conyers and because I only had to go 3 times.
Right.
So I was like, okay, this is great. Yeah, I'll take a listing wherever you have it. Yeah. And I would learn the area really well. So
good.
That was.
Did you do orphans for the people? You did do orphans?
You
I've
explain
gotten
what an
several.
orphan is.
I've gotten several orphans.
An orphan is if you're the listing agent, is the people that buy the house. And a lot of times their agents don't follow up with them. But obviously we know the house because we had the listing on it. And so we market to the people that bought the house.
I popped by a lot of those because they would ask me questions during the.
I've actually had them say, I had one say at closing, their agent was not there. And they said, I want you to be my agent.
Yeah, I've had
I
that
said,
too.
happy to do it.
Yeah,
But,
no,
you know, I
sell,
think-
show up. Like just show up at something.
Go to every closing, go to every inspection, go to, even if it's for 5 minutes at the inspection, go. Yeah.
It's, okay, so I don't know that this is unique, but once you're in my database, you never get out, you know, unless you call me and threaten me or something. So, you know, I have a database, I follow up really well. And I don't think that that's unique, but that's how you build a PCSOI. Buyers go in there. If I've got their email and phone number, they go in there. If it's my listing, they always go in my database. It's rare that I have somebody say, take me out of your database, I'm not your client. But then I guess for unique things, I would say that I do a really good newsletter to my subdivision. And I market that subdivision because my goal in there is to dominate that market. And last year I had 50% market share, so I did that. This year, probably 40% market share, which is strong. If y'all don't know, that's a strong presence in any subdivision. So I write well. So I do a lot of that. In fact, I'm sending out a letter today to my buyers and sellers to my whole database. It's on my letterhead. It's going out as an email. And it is what we just talked about earlier, just educating them to what's really going on in the market. And it's got a buyer, it's a short synopsis, then a buyer section and a seller section. And by staying in touch with people that way, number one, you're giving them a value. They know that you care about them, and you're going to be the one that they call when they have questions about what's going on.
Love it.
Mine is video. And I think the one thing I learned through that process is that anything that you do differently or that you add, you're not going to be good at it at the beginning. You'll get better as you go along. And anything that you do, you have to be super consistent at it. I mean, that's like the key to success and the key to making anything be successful is that consistency and time over task over time. And that will equal success.
Mhm.
And I do a lot of handwritten. I don't know if that's unique, but I'm constantly, every day I'm writing some notes because I did handwritten Thanksgiving and I don't do Christmas. I do New Year's because everybody doesn't do all the same holiday, but everybody has a new year. So that's unique about me too, is that I just write cards all day. I just write. And I have very unique stamps. I like pretty stamps. So people see my thing and they see my
part of your
stickers and my
branding,
stamps.
yeah. And I think, so I've heard is the mindset, consistency on whatever you choose, you have to be consistent with it on your lead gen, relationships, relationship business. And find your thing. And it could be more than one thing, but find your thing, master it, be the expert in that and stick with it. And don't be afraid to ask questions. Who's raising their hand? I see you pointing at somebody.
No,
He found his thing. He's pointing at Joy.
well, joy is my thing, but I saw my other thing back there with Adrian just walking.
Oh, you know, and so for those that are new in the office, all right, stay here, guys. Those that are new in this room and with this office, like Bob was saying, everybody is so transparent here. If you have a question, ask. Don't wait to ask. All that's doing is delaying your progress and your activities. Ask anybody. You can ask anybody anything. There is, I don't want to say there is no stupid question because everybody's like, oh no, there actually is. However, just ask. If you don't know, ask. Somebody here will know. Pick up the phone. Everybody in this room, in this market center of 250 agents, they're all available to answer your questions. Somebody will help you. So if you don't know, please ask and don't wait.
Yeah, if there's something that can go wrong in a transaction, I've probably had it and I've had every
I think we probably all have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have some crazy phones.
Okay.
No, you can say
Land
it,
the
but
plane.
I got to land the plane.
All right, so when I first got into real estate, the instructor that was teaching us is an icon in the business, Tom Gillette. A lot of people know. Yeah, he's really, really smart guy. And one thing he always said was, there's a whole lot more information and brains out there sitting in front of him than there is standing in front of you all. Everybody in this room has a niche or an expertise or, some kind of thing that they do really well. So use the resources.
Okay. Fall in love with learning. Fall in love with learning and commit to it. That's my big takeaway.
And if you don't love real estate, don't do it because you gotta love it. Because like some days you're inside, you're screaming and yelling, and then on the outside you're going, yes, I understand that completely.
Yeah, you have your people.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with great people and with great mindsets because it matters who you're surrounding yourself with. So I think that's great. I can't thank you guys enough. Sorry I went on scripting. I'm really it's all right. It's all right.
It was easier.
Yeah.
Yes, you were.
Yes, you were. Relax. For those that are new, the playbooks that we have.
Thank you.
So just because Sarah mentioned when she was talking about how people, you know, there are people say there's no buyers out there. Well, like she's our number one